Welcome, everybody. We are here in the studio, WRUU 107.5 FM, WRUU.org. We are Savannah Soundings Community Radio with Global Soul. This is the Adam Messer Show, and I might sound a little different because I'm on a different mic today, so let me adjust that a little bit. Bass, do you mind playing this in real quick?
Yeah.
All right, here's Sebastian Messer. What? Man, that was pretty good.
I thought it was an opening to like one of those restoration dramas, you know? And then he switched it up to the bluesy.
All right. All right, so sounds a little weird. Yeah, it sounds a little weird.
Is that better?
Yeah, that sounds.
Mic check 1 2.
Yeah, there we go. There we go. So as you can tell, we're changing things up a little bit here in the studio. We've got live on Facebook, y'all.
Yeah.
If you want to go to the Adam Messer, author, journalist, and
Publisher,
something like that, right? Radio show host.
you're gonna do the radio entry. Ladies and gentlemen, the Adam Messer Show.
Yes, Johnny. Yes. Yeah. So
Johnny's guests today are
hi,
the Elbow Dog,
Bill Cooper. Okay, so y'all, you are not going to believe this, but Bill Cooper, Chad Carvel, they're the main folks that bring you Savannah at Night, and bittersweet day today here in Savannah. 4 years,
3 months.
3 months. Savannah. Let's see if we can get in. Yeah, look at that, y'all. Okay, so the Savannah at Night has been on, and today will be the last show on the radio. So I wanted to take a chance with this last hour of my show today.
Brave man you are.
And say, hey, what's up, y'all, and have y'all in. I'm trying to get an angle where I can get both y'all in, but I don't think it's going to happen with this.
It's fine.
So
Let's
Facebook
get
Live.
the main man, Bill.
It ain't gonna happen unless we share the shirt. Hold on.
Yeah, I'm fairly thin, but he doesn't like when I sit in his lap.
Oh, I imagine not. So tell me, Bill Cooper and then Chad Carvel, tell me about the Savannah at Night, and this is like the last show for now. We'll just say for now. Maybe forever, but for now. You never know. You might come back on the mic again. But tell me about the Savannah at Night, what it's meant to you for the last 4 years and 3 months, and then what are you doing next?
My objective when I started the show and when I wrote a proposal up for it was to get people in Savannah that don't go out, that don't see the plays that are in town, that don't go to the music venues that are in town, that don't go to the comedy shows in town, to get them off the couch and to get out into Savannah and see we have a ton of stuff going on in this city that's terrific in the arts. And I've been involved with it. At that time, I was involved with it about 13 years as far as acting, and then I get into stand-up comedy and that. And I just want, I met a ton of people in this town that are extremely talented, and I just wanted to share them with the listeners. And so in that time, roughly 200 guests I've had. So, yeah. And these are all locals, either from Savannah or Tybee or Richmond Hill in this area. And most of them are extremely talented. And everyone has just a love for the arts. And that's what I do. I have a love for the arts. And I just wanted to share it. And that was my goal. And I reached it. And so it's just time to do other things.
The last 4.5 years for me have meant pretty much. I didn't know Bill 4.5 years ago. Then like 2 years ago, we did some odd lot improv And I was like, who is this? My long lost father. And he has yet to confirm that. But
Or deny.
which is good, which is what you want, in a legal case. No, 2 years ago, Bill was like, I'm doing this little radio show on WRUU, and I would like to have you as a guest. And I'm like, me have a guest? I'm like, huh? Well, who wants to talk to me on the radio? And Bill was like, I do. And I was like, that's a mistake. But he had me anyway. And
That's a mistake. What?
then Hai Dang was producing his show before that, and he was like, Hai's taking some time off or whatever, and you know how to... I was like, I used to do radio all the time, and I can press buttons because I'm a monkey, and I can do that. So, see? Anyway, so Bill was like, hey, I do this show about the arts in Savannah, and I'm like, I'm down. I'm totally down with that. Let's do it. And it's been two plus years for me, really thoroughly enjoying meeting all the people in the arts community. And then...
So you must have joined the show about the same time I switched over from Saturday to Sunday.
It was right about the time you came.
Because my show was on Saturday night. And what day was it that they started, Bill? Do you remember? It was like June.
It was in June. I don't remember the exact.
I think ours was
day.
like the same, like
the middle of
anniversary
June.
date.
I think like the 13th, something like that.
15th is ours.
Yeah.
And man, I'll tell you what, it was so funny. It was so funny switching over from Saturday to Sunday because. They had the Met Opera. I guess they were playing that or whatever, and they're like, "Hey, by the way, you're not gonna be able to do your show." I was like, "What?" They're like, "Yeah, we told you that already. We might have to switch things." I'm like, "Okay." So I didn't do the show for a couple months, and then I came back in like February, and came back on Sunday, and then it was like the 4 to 5 hour. Yeah, and then like y'all were like right behind us, and then.
Ron was here,
and then I picked up the 3 to 4 o'clock hour because the Reverend Messner, not Messer, but Messner, and somebody thought that we were related. I was like, I mean, it wouldn't be a bad thing, but no, we're not related. But I thought that was cool because I do like a 2-hour show, then y'all do like an hour and a half show right after, so it's like almost 4 hours of, talk show entertainment.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I think it's neat how our shows have been so complimentary with each other because we've had different guests on. Y'all talk with comedians and actors and singers and musicians. I talk with artists and authors, entertainers. You've had authors on your show,
and we've had the same guests sometimes.
Sometimes,
not the same week, but we've had the same guests that did your show and mine.
Yeah, I love it. I think that is for me. It's one of the things that I'm really excited about, being able to do talk radio or doing a radio show.
Yeah.
Because we have like live music. I've got a band coming up pretty soon. Y'all have had musicians in the show, on the show before.
Oh, yeah.
And
several.
Yeah, and I love it. I just absolutely love it. Growing up listening to talk radio,
right.
I never had a dream of being on the radio. I never thought about it, but when it came around, because of writing for the paper, Dr. Dave was like, we're still looking for hosts. And so boom, bada boom, bada bing. And then here we are.
Well, when I grew up listening to talk radio, we didn't have. I mean, most of the stuff we listened to was either politically based, or it was like a shock jock morning show situation. There was like not a lot of in between, except for like NPR, where
I
you
grew
get
up listening to
variety
like the Reds, and I listened to the Trucking Bozo show, and then the Coast to Coast show.
Oh, Coast to Coast, yeah,
like Ancient Aliens type stuff.
Oh yeah,
yeah. And but I never in my. What about you, Bill? Did you ever? Did you ever think that you would actually be on the radio? Or
First time I heard one, I heard the Lone Ranger back in the 1940s.
The serials, right? The Lone Ranger
serials?
serial?
They weren't serials, they were whole shows.
Oh, wow.
And whether it was a half hour or 15 minutes, I don't know, because they did change the format.
Yeah.
My father would lug this 80-pound radio up into the bedroom. And if I was quiet, behaved, went to bed at 8 o'clock, on being a young boy, right, I could listen to the Lone Ranger. Quiet. I loved every minute of it. From the theme song. Who couldn't get excited with that?
The Lone Ranger
rides again.
If you have ever watched the
it.
Postcards from Lowell show, you had to know that was an achievement for young Buddy Cooper.
Right, he still can't behave. What are we talking
Bill
about?
Buddy Cooper
Loved it. I mean, totally loved it. And then what I loved about the radio, then when it came on TV, I was a little bit older. I was about maybe 10 or 11 when I saw it on TV. And it was good because I still liked the Lone Ranger. But there's something missing, and I realized I know what the characters look like. I'm making them up in my mind, and they're totally different than the characters that a TV shows you or a film. It shows you, hey, this is what they look like. But when it's in your mind, you have them the way you want to look. And I just thought there was something neat about that.
Yeah.
But it wasn't until I heard the show after, because my father would sometimes get busy and forget that he left the radio upstairs in my room. And so I'd listen to, I'd be turning the dial because there were other things on. And some guy said, this is so-and-so from WWWW in New York City. And I'm thinking, holy mackerel, I know that was more than 200 miles away from where I live.
Oh, my gosh.
This guy is up at this time. He doesn't have to go to bed. And I want to be on the radio. So I really did. I always wanted to be on. And then when rock music came out in the 50s, man, I wanted to be a DJ so bad I could taste it.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
I loved rock music, and I wanted to spin those 45s. We'll have to take a minute to tell Sebastian what a 45 is.
He knows what a 45 is.
I'm sure you do.
He's got a
45
decent
rounds
size
per minute.
He's got a nice nice size record collection already. Actually, what was the one you got?
We picked up "Human" by Death.
It's a
Human
metal band.
by Death.
What
Yeah.
era? Okay, when
That's modern.
50s, 60s, 70s,
This
80s?
came out in the 90s.
In the 90s. Oh, okay.
It's a metal band that unfortunately the lead singer passed away, but what was that one that you were trying to get past? It's
I've
like
been
super
trying to
hard to get.
Symbolic.
Yeah. So what's crazy, Bill, is that
Highly
the
collectible now.
LPs or the records are more popular now. They sell more than CDs do.
The sound on a 45 mono, not stereo, a 45 mono was so good. You could hear the rasp when they inhaled. You could hear any little click in that studio that shouldn't have been there. It was incredible sound. And they ditched it for stereo, and then they ditched those for tapes, and they ditched those for CDs, DVDs, CDs. They kept ditching it, and they had it down. They had those were great. The first ones were the acetate that if you drop in the 78s did break. But the 45s and the 33 and the thirds, those were unbreakable. I mean, you could drop them and it wasn't going to break.
Throw them like a frisbee.
But what a sound. You
Yeah.
swore you were in the studio. It didn't even have to be stereo. You swore you were in the studio with them. It was so crisp and clear.
Yeah.
And this is an old man talking. They call it improvement, and they're not improving it if the quality's worse. I mean, the sound on a regular telephone landline is so much crisper and clearer than a cell phone. I don't care what cell phone you own.
Analog versus
I'm
digital.
telling you,
yeah.
it is so much clearer. So we
Yeah.
gave up quality for quantity.
Well, I'll tell you,
convenience.
when I record a show, and I know we're using sound equipment, we're using mics and all that stuff, but when I record a show versus doing it just off my phone, even when I use like a lapel mic or something like that with my phone, you record it through the studio, which, yes, it's being recorded on a digital app, but it's all analog stuff going through there.
Right.
Right? We're using this is all analog stuff getting to that disbursement
Digital
out there and the interwebs and the airwaves and all that stuff. But to think that these radio waves are actually going out there in the world,
Yeah.
and then on the internet,
space,
it's like just
man.
like little blips, like zeros and ones. But like right now, this frequency is being carried by a sound wave.
Yeah.
And I just find it fascinating. I
Yeah.
just always found it fascinating.
It is. It totally is. And as I said, it mesmerized me as a little boy.
Yeah.
And then when he finally came upstairs and unplugged it and carried that 80-pound behemoth downstairs again, I
Made
knew
out of real oak.
two
And,
things.
Yeah.
My night was over.
oh man.
And my father was pretty strong carrying that up and down the stairs just so I could listen to
One-handed.
the Lone Ranger.
He's like one-handed. How about you, Chad? Did you ever think you'd be on the radio? Like
that?
you said, you came on 2 years ago after Bill invited you. Did
Yeah.
you ever think that you would be on the radio?
Oh yeah, I was on the radio.
Oh, you were on the radio before, weren't you?
Right out of high school, pretty much. I went to a radio station and I just walked in the door. I was
wow.
like, "You guys hiring?" And they were like,
Was that here in Savannah?
No, this was in Louisiana, Lafayette, Louisiana.
Louisiana.
Yeah, I've always been a little bit, I had a little bit of moxie. It was like, well,
A little chutzpah.
yeah, I need a job where I can talk because I talk a lot. And I don't know what happened. A friend of ours from when I was
Hold
a
on,
kid.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
Did you
we
hear
have to do our
knocking?
station duties. Is there knocking? Was there knocking?
Yeah, I thought so. Hold on.
Oh, hold on. Let me get it. I'm the host.
Okay.
So yeah. So anyway, I just walked in. I filled out an application, and then the station manager interviewed me, and he was like, "Okay, well, you can start next week." And I'm like, "I don't even know how to do this. I had no idea." But it was the weekend board operation position, you know.
Yeah.
So really, I just
So somebody had to show you once or
five
twice.
minutes. It was the old cart system, and
Man.
Julia Golia,
Surprise!
looking beautiful as always.
No,
Julia.
Cooper, these are for you.
Oh, this is too nice.
Savannah's own comedian in chief.
Yeah.
Chair for you.
Thanks, Adam.
Awesome.
You sit down. How's it going?
Going good.
Good.
You look great.
How are
This
you?
is cool,
So, you got
Julia.
a camera?
Julia's here.
Wow.
For Bill's going away present.
Smile.
Julia,
Flowers.
what are you doing on this side of town?
Oh, I heard it was someone's possibly last day to air today, and
Yeah.
Bill Cooper
Bill,
was
hold this
on
up for the
Adam's.
camera. Show.
Yeah,
Look at that, y'all. Look at
That's
that.
so sweet.
That is
beautiful
so-
flowers for such a beautiful soul.
Yeah.
And Julia, you've been on
Stop
Bill's
it.
you've been on Bill's show quite a few times. This is the
Yeah.
first time you've ever been on my show.
Yes, Adam.
Thank you for
yeah.
coming in
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Show.
Yeah, surprise.
She said to me a couple of weeks ago, "I'll never go on Adam's show unless you quit radio."
And lo and behold,
had to do a small miracle. All right, since you're here, Julia, we can actually do our station ID now. So
Perfect.
Yeah.
all right, everybody,
You're
thank
listening
you.
too.
Yes, sir. We are listening to the Julia Gulia Show here on WRUU LP Savannah, Georgia, 107.5 FM, WRUU.org. We are Savannah Soundings Community Radio with Global Soul. Bass, would you mind playing a lick for us? Bow, 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 bow. This is Sebastian Messer.
Sounds like my back.
We were just
Yeah.
Thank you. That's nice.
yeah, yeah.
Thank you.
Heck yeah.
woo. Yes, thank you. So we were just talking about the origin story.
Story.
Yeah, Julia, about how Bill got on the radio and then Chad was on the radio. What was your first experience? Because you've been, a pretty regular guest on the Savannah at Night group.
She's been on
Yeah.
at least 4 times. At
Yeah.
least 4.
What was your experience
that
about
was
being on the radio?
Until we
My-
got the lock on the front door.
Right. I'm actually the reason
Don't worry,
why
I'll
they
give you the code
decided
later.
to lock the front door.
I'll give you the code later. Don't worry.
Yeah, no.
Back door's always open.
Is it? Bill, that was my first time on a radio show, like in person for like any kind of segment. I've done advertisements for here or there. I actually did for one of my comedy shows. I was on a radio, but it was like for 2 minutes or a
promo?
minute or something. Yeah, a promo. So that was very different than like a show like you guys have, and where you interview like amazing people and share some like really cool stories. So that was my first time. It's pretty awesome.
What did you
Radio is
What did you
rad.
think the first time versus like coming in today? Because like you're like so comfortable now, right?
Yeah.
It's so different.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's radio. Radio, you can download it, stream it. Nowadays, you can. I know you do YouTube. So there's virtually, I mean, you can reach so many people more than just our little community. I mean,
Yeah.
Savannah's not
Yeah,
little, but our
it is,
community
yeah.
here.
Global.
So yeah, global, exactly. And so it's a little inundating if you really think about it. Your voice has the potential to reach.
Millions and
Yeah,
millions of people.
yeah,
I got
yeah.
friends
So
in,
it's
in
very
London
cool.
that listens to this. I got a friend
Okay.
2 friends in Costa Rica that listen to it, and Canada. So I mean, it does go
Yeah.
around the globe.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
and-
amazing.
Bill's show, you get maybe 400 to 500 people a week that watch the postcards from Lowell.
It's dropped down because
Mine's dropped down
too.
too.
It actually did, but I think
It's too wholesome.
this
This been
was-
shadow banned for being wholesome.
the highest I had on this show, on my radio show here, was over 500, and that was Jason Bible.
Wow.
Wow.
Jason Bible, who was an
Wow.
amazing singer,
Yeah.
guitarist, the front man for the.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, look who's here. Hey, look at that. Come on in, Marianne.
It's a party.
Look what's going on.
Yeah. Adam put all of this together.
sit here with me
Yeah, yeah, perfect.
Crying out
Yeah,
loud.
yeah.
There's plenty of them.
Share the mic.
Surprise, Bill.
Marianne. Hello.
We have a new guest. And if people at home don't have to drink when I say it on this show.
We could extend it to the show.
Special guest.
Can I just have Chad give the
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen of the Adam Messer Show, listening and viewing audience, when Bill Cooper's wife's name is mentioned by Bill Cooper, Marianne, well, only when he says Marianne, you can have a sip of the beverage of your choice, but the disclaimer is,
it does not have to be alcohol, but if you can handle alcohol, if you're sure you're not pregnant
Yeah.
and you're not driving
Right.
and you're not delivering dynamite, then have a drink. Just be responsible.
Oh my
exactly.
gosh.
So, for Adam Messer's audience, this is the pleasure of meeting Marianne Cooper, Bill's lovely wife. And
That's
Actually, this is the
Marianne.
second time.
drink!
You tricked me.
This is the second time that Marianne's been on my show.
Oh, very
Second
good.
time.
Yeah, you remember you
I do.
and Bill
I do
came out,
remember the first
yeah.
time
I was
Bill
out
and
of
I-
town.
Bill and
So
I were
Chad's
guests.
first time, Julia's first time.
Yep.
I've only annoyed you from a distance.
Well, you tried. Ding.
Ding.
You know what they do, Marianne? Like they'll come in here. Chad tries this new material on me, and a lot of times
Right.
just. and so on Wednesdays, he'll hold that pin it up frustration, and
Yeah.
he's just like, "Yeah, that's right, Adam Messer. We love you, Adam Messer."
He waits till you leave the room or like the door's locked behind you.
No, I'm usually watching the postcards from Lowell, and I'm like, "There goes Chad again."
Yeah.
We appreciate your help so much.
You're like, yeah. I just see the gears grinding when Bill's like, "Thanks a lot, Adam, for putting this on postcards of Lowell." And Marianne's like, "Yeah, we love Adam." And Chad's like, "Yeah, we love Adam."
Adam's
Like a
great.
rash. He's the best.
World class.
We love poison ivy too, don't
Yeah,
we, Adam?
Yeah. There's always room for mosquitoes.
Yep.
So, but no, this, I think this is the extent of our surprise guest coming. So,
Yeah.
Well,
When
this is just very nice. I
Yeah.
couldn't believe Miriam said, I'm going to come in 15 minutes before your show's
Drink.
over, so I expected her later.
Mm-hmm.
And now this is great. This is great. Hi,
It's a
hon.
twofer.
How you
Yeah.
doing?
we have some chocolate cake in the
Yeah, Adam was
hallway,
so
ladies.
Aw.
Yeah, and it's
if you would like a
delicious.
piece
I had
of
a sample.
chocolate
Chocolate
cake.
latte.
I had a sample.
And there's
of
icing
the
we have to put
apple.
on yourself because they didn't have it on there.
So I got a call from Adam a couple of days ago.
Funny.
Oh, okay.
You know, you'd really like to keep it quiet, you know.
And
Try
Chad's
and
like,
keep something quiet.
Chad's like out in
from
the
Bill.
hallway. He's like, "Isn't Julia coming?" I was like, Bill doesn't know. I even told Chad it was a surprise on the thing. He's like, "Oh, okay. Isn't Julia coming?" I was like,
I
"Thanks,
didn't think you could hear
Chad.
me out there.
Right.
I didn't.
Thank God." Bill was outside.
Yeah.
But I was like,
Fortunately-
Sebastian was even like, yeah, well, maybe.
I was like,
Good play there, Sebastian.
"Shut
yeah.
up."
Yeah.
I was like, "No, she said she can't come today." So-
Every
Right.
show I have a list. Chad, this is what you can't say about certain people.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And he goes down
The
alphabetically.
list is growing.
Yeah, he says, there's no M's there. I can make fun of Adam.
Adam's not going to be in the studio today. Yes.
Hoorah.
Hoorah. So, Marianne, what did you think when I was like, "Hey"?
Bill wanted to do radio.
Knowing you, it didn't surprise me. What was nice is that it was nice.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, it was just such a nice, warm thing to even consider doing. And
Well, I figured this was the closest thing Bill would get to a send-off party from the.
Radio
this
station.
is the only thing I was going to get from this.
If I just may interject here, it's just because management has never listened to my show.
Well,
So
they
they're
never
not
listened to
even
me either,
listening.
so here we are, right?
Right.
They have no idea I have this show.
They're like, "Bill, who's Bill Cooper?"
What are we doing between 5 and 6?
Yeah, they're going to try to think of something. They put that on the shelf 4 years ago, and I just walked in and took it.
3 to 5, 5 to 6. We don't know what goes on.
It's a black
you know,
hole.
Julia, he started off with just an hour. First of all, they said to him, Bill said, what am I going to do for half an hour? And they said, no, it's got to be
gotta do
at least an hour.
Right.
At least an hour. So we did it for an hour and did it for an hour for well over a year. And the gentleman who had the show before them was doing it for 2 hours. It was a music show. And that's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Yep.
And he was kind of getting like, this is busy. And Bill said, would you like to give up a half an hour? Sure would. When do you want to start? I'll start today. Okay.
Laurent was funny. He was quiet as can be. If you,
Yeah.
you know Laurent, he is quieter than Sebastian. Anyway, so he would come in like 15 minutes before he went on and just sit in the corner there. And I don't let anyone sit in a corner.
No.
You know, so I kept getting him involved, and he was sitting over there laughing at the silly things that we say, and that's just what we do.
Yeah.
And he was laughing, so after a while, he actually started talking and da.
Yeah.
And then, it was kind of cool. As I say, you can't be in the room with us and not contribute.
Right. He blew the stereotype of lawyers because Laurent's a lawyer, and he has a sense of humor, and I didn't think that was possible. Lawyers have sense of humor.
You ever see him on Payday?
Oh yeah.
They're all smiling.
Did you?
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna go there. So, Julia, what did you think about Bill? Coming out here for Bill's last hurrah?
I
hurrah.
thought it's bittersweet. I being someone who was on his show for a few times. Yeah, BS. It was
BS.
BS. Bittersweet.
Bittersweet,
For
that's right.
BC, Bill Cooper.
BC's
Yeah,
BS.
yeah, but definitely, I thought I was gonna come down here and surprise you.
What?
Anyway,
What?
so this worked out that other people wanted to surprise you too, and show you some love and see what's next.
For those
Because
of you
I don't believe this is the end.
Julia,
That's what I said
for
for
those
now.
of you
Yeah.
Now.
that don't know us, they may just listen, they might be driving by and that. Julia, Marianne, and I, Chad, and Adam, and of course your son, the quiet one here, the talented one.
Yeah, I
Very
know.
talented.
I mean, we just clicked from the first time we met. This
Yeah.
was nothing.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we
Organic.
just liked each
Yeah.
other. It's that
Yeah.
simple. And I remember the first time you were on, you'd say, geez, I don't know if I can say anything. An hour and a half, Bill. I don't know if
Well,
I
we
can
can
talk
talk
for that.
about-
I said,
yeah.
all I said was relax. It's just like we're talking, sitting on a couch somewhere and talking about what we like to do. And that's all I've told every guest that had any hesitation. And you found out how easy it was.
Oh,
At the
yeah.
end of the show, you said, that went by fast.
Yeah, that was easy.
Feels like it's
Yeah.
so quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have-
Speaking of, we got to do the announcements real quick, y'all.
This is an all-community
recital in the beautiful rotunda of the Telfair Academy as part of the 9th season of the Savannah Voice Festival from August 8th through August 22nd. More information about the festival and tickets can be found at www.savannahvoicefestival.org.
The Live Oak Public Library System offers local residents access to hundreds of thousands of movies, television programs, albums, audiobooks, ebooks, and digital comic books for free on your streaming television and mobile devices through the Hoopla app. Supported devices include Roku, Fire, Apple TV, iPhone, and Android, among others. The selection is vast. All you'll need is your library card. Find the Hoopla app on your device and more information at liveoakpl.org.
Hey, look at this. We got PT in the house. What's up, PT?
He brings a cake, too.
What?
That takes the cake, man.
Man, Bill, did you ever think that you'd be so appreciated?
I never thought people would be wanting me to leave so bad that they'd kick me out of here.
Oh my gosh.
I get kicked out of the studio.
Oh my gosh.
No, it's heartwarming. It really is.
You should see his face right now, everybody. He's beaming. Yeah.
I
We're
really appreciate it. I don't
excited
know.
for you.
Marianne, how many times have you seen me with lost for words?
Twice.
Really?
Very, very true.
29 years.
Yeah.
Bill Cooper's
Yeah.
party. We're having like a party here on the radio station, y'all.
Yeah.
All right, so
Adam put a lot of the the surprise together. Said we should all
I
come
messaged
when.
the key players. I was like,
Yes.
"Hey, y'all.
Yes.
Hey, y'all. Let's see if we can surprise Bill."
Yeah.
So
We did
I'm
it.
glad. Like,
I purposely parked like a little bit down the
5 miles from
road
here.
so his truck. So I saw Bill's truck.
Hey,
I
PT.
didn't want him to see me.
Pete, if I might say,
Yeah.
PT, you've never met my wife Marianne. You've heard me talk about her.
I have.
You met?
Bless you.
Every day.
PT Bridgeport has a couple of shows on this station, and you're extremely talented. We got one of your pictures hanging up in our home now, and love it. And anyway, thank you so much. It's nice of you to come in. Appreciate it.
You want to hear something really interesting too? You know how these two met?
How?
PT was on my show and Bill came in a little early.
Okay.
You remember that? And then it was like you two just
I
hit it off.
knew him from his show, and I said, "Who could own that beautiful voice?"
She's still at home.
PT, this is Julia.
Hello.
Julia, this is PT.
How are
Sorry,
you doing?
That's okay. We know you're excited.
Does he know your son, Sebastian?
Yeah, he's met Sebastian. He met Sebastian.
He's my Sebastian. Yes.
So Sebastian, PT.
You get
PT
two
Sebastian.
old guys together, and who knows what'll happen.
Adam's not that old.
I'm 45. I'm like halfway there, Bill.
45's the new 25, right?
I know.
Yeah.
I actually saw something the other day. They were talking about, like, you know how they're always like, oh, you know, she looks good for her age, or he looks good for his age, or whatever. And they were talking about this one woman who was 40, and they're like, why do you think 40 is old? Like, 40 is not old. We're just so conditioned to think that anybody over 30 is old, and I'm like, you know, you're still young at heart. I don't care if you're like 95, and if you're young at heart, you're a young person to me. You know what I mean? So,
According to the math I've seen, 40 is about the new 15. I don't quite understand it.
yeah, it's that new
the
math
new-
that they're
the new
doing.
Common Core.
Yeah,
If 75 is the new 50, let's see here now.
I know. It's
I
crazy.
never, ever felt old. I was always glad to, whatever age I got to, I was glad to get there. I mean, I had lost friends in high school that died in accidents and that. I never worried about another birthday. And then when I get on Facebook, I notice everyone is turning 30. It's like, cry me a river, will you? It ain't the end of the world.
Right,
30, jeez.
Yeah.
Relax. I've done it twice plus 17 years and I'm still dancing.
Right.
Real good, huh, hon?
Oh, yeah, he's a terrific dancer.
Speaking of that, Marianne, would you just refresh us on how you and Bill met?
Well, there's a little discrepancy in this.
Okay.
Oh.
We'll hear your version
'Cause I
first.
remember.
That's the authoritative one.
Oh,
There
snap.
was this gentleman up north that used to run a singles dance, and he would have his dances at local hotels that had function rooms. And he set up this program with the people in the hotels that he got the function room for nothing. But they were going to have a bar there, so he would make his money on the bar and everything else. So anyway, it was at this particular place in Northborough, Massachusetts, and it was an old Grecian style house, and it was just done to the nines. It was all decked out. It was beautiful. I'd never been inside, and I thought I'd like to go inside, and he was having a dance there, and I went that night after being at home. I don't know. I mean, you know, Julia, then the day comes, and then you want to go out, and it's like, oh, man, I don't know. I mean, I worked all week, and
Yeah.
I don't want to get
Look,
dressed, and I don't
all
wanna
the
get dressed.
excuses. Yeah,
Well,
the
you know,
you know.
and then I remember my aunt telling me no one's going to come to your door and say, Marianne, can you come out and play? So I got dressed, and I went to this dance.
Can you imagine if adults did that these days, though? Like, come out and play instead of having to.
So I
Be
went
much
to
easier.
the dance, and it was packed. There must have been 500 people there.
Oh, there was.
And
yeah.
it was packed.
507.
And Bill asked me to dance, and then the rest is history. But his version's
Now-
a little bit
Now,
different.
did you guys have like those dance cards where you had to write people's
No.
names on it, or
It was
is that
nothing like that.
too
No.
much? Is that
You
older
just
history?
stand up against the wall.
Everyone would
and
go in there,
everybody
they'd grab a
comes.
drink at the bar, and then there were a bunch of tables there. It was like it was a wedding, you know, reception, but it was all people that wanted. And then they had a DJ there that played music, and they were told not to play music for younger people. No offense. They didn't want younger people there. They
It's
didn't
actually
want.
geared for the over
They
35.
wanted it,
Right.
basically
That's
wanted
really
it
what
from
made
30
it
up.
appealing to me. I was
Right.
over 35.
Right.
And you know, just
And there
kind
was,
of
and it was
looking to
music
get
from
out.
our generation.
Right.
So
Right.
that was what kept the younger people out. They didn't want to hear that music. So anyway, but it caught on so well. This guy, he was running them, I think, 5 nights a week at different towns around there.
Oh.
He'd have a different one. He was making a bundle because, as I said, he paid nothing except for the DJ. That's all he paid.
Now,
then he
do
sold
you guys
tickets.
pay to get into
$5
the dance?
$5 to get
oh,
in.
that's not bad.
No.
And then
Yeah.
the hotel made their money on the liquor.
Right.
And there would have been no one there that night, so that was a deal for everyone. But anyway, we actually met a couple weeks before that.
Oh.
My buddy that lived across the street from me, Lee and I, says, hey, it's Sunday night, a real quiet night. It's Sunday night. A lot of people are going back to work Monday, so they didn't want to go out. So I says, let's go to the singles dance up the street. Well, it was the next town over. It was at the golf course
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
on Route 9.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
And that's where I met you. And I'll tell you how this is the real story. There was very few people there, so I asked her to dance, and it was about 10:30 or something, and we danced and we get talking, and she happened to say, "Oh, I'm a twin," and I said, "Oh," I said, "I got twin uncles, but I never really knew a twin or a twin girl before." Blah blah blah. Then after the second dance, she looks at her watch. I got work tomorrow and runs out. So my buddy says,
Cinderella?
"Who was that?" I said, "Cinderella."
Did you step on her foot? Was that the real reason?
But she totally forgot that. But as I said, that can be proven because that was when I knew that she was a twin because she told me then.
But he asked for my telephone number. And
No, that was on the.
That was the second time?
Well,
Oh,
what
I
you call the
didn't know
first
that
time.
either.
That was what you call the first time, but it was actually the second time.
Oh,
And
okay.
And I asked for it, and the thing was, when I asked for a number, I walked her to her. First of all, I said, "Do you mind if I walk you to your car?" It was a big driveway and kind of dark in places, so I just, being a gentleman, "Would you mind?" And she said, "No." So I said, "Could I have your phone number?" She said, "Okay, I'll call you sometime." So she gives me the number. You can tell
And he
the rest
didn't
of
write
it.
it down. What the hell is this all about?
He has like a Rain Man like memory.
He does. He has an elephant's memory.
So anyway, she was surprised
Couple
when a
of
few
days
days
later,
later I actually called her.
But it was actually at a singles dance that we met. Whether it was your version or my version, it was still kind of the same.
So he did meet you that first round. It wasn't your twin sister?
No, it wasn't.
Oh,
No,
okay.
she was married. Her
Okay.
twin sister was married. Mary Ann
Well, you
wasn't.
never know. She's a twin. Why not? I mean, that's like the perfect scapegoat, to get
Marie
around,
did it,
get
and
over
Mary Ann did
people,
it,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
In
No, that was
person.
Mary Ann.
I mean, they were
that
identical
was my
twins.
twin
In
sister.
person, at that time, they had the same hairdo.
Oh,
yeah.
And they,
Yeah.
in person, I could tell. It's just funny. I mean, you kiss someone once, you know them forever. The
Right.
old saying.
Right.
And I knew the difference between her and her sister. Except
PT's over here going like,
Shaking
"Oh
his head.
God."
I probably don't remember everyone I've kissed, to be honest,
no, but you won't forget
because
them
it's just
either.
so many.
You may not remember them, but you can't forget them.
Right.
It's weird. It's weird. Like when you have a bad experience, you'll remember it a lot more than you'll remember like a good experience sometimes.
Agreed.
So
I
Well,
think,
that's the
yeah.
way it happened with me.
yeah.
I met my wife, my first meeting with my wife. She hit me on the side of the head with a tennis ball.
Oh, okay.
That's how we met.
Concussion.
No, not really, but at that point I was pretty good at keeping my tennis balls in my court, and she and her partner were not.
Are you sure she didn't just whack you upside the head because she wanted to get your attention? Like,
No,
"Hey,
that
guy."
came, that came later.
Like, boom.
That came
Yeah.
That was when he got the racket.
Did she remember hitting you upside the head with the tennis ball?
Yeah, and I returned it and said something smart ass, and she said something smart ass back. And it
Oh, I thought you
all
were starting to
came
say
out
like
from
I
the
hit her back upside the head too. Like,
Right,
boom,
right.
like 90
How
mile an
long
hour
ago
tennis
was
ball.
that?
Taught that pretty lady a
Oh,
lesson.
my goodness.
Taught her.
36 years.
36 years ago.
Yeah.
Wow. So, Bill, Savannah at Night is retiring, but that doesn't mean that you are getting out of the entertainment business.
Oh, I never
Right.
said I was.
Right.
No.
So I want to make sure everybody understands that you're going to be doing your doings. So can you tell us about your doings that you're going to be doing?
Yeah.
I'm still doing stand-up comedy, and right now, for the past 3 months, it's the second Thursday every month at the VFW at 5115 Ogeechee Road, Post 660. We have a comedy. The comedy starts at 7. The sign-up starts at 6. Julia has been there. She's done 2 of the shows. And Chad has been there. He's done 3 of the shows. At my insistence. He says he's not a stand-up comedian, but he cracks me up no matter what he says, so I get him up there too. And several others from the city have come out, and it's really
a good
starting
time
to take off. So
Yeah.
we're very
Pretty
happy about that. I'll be doing that. Now, that's once a month. The other thing is every Wednesday at 1 o'clock on my Facebook page, we have 23 minutes of total nonsense called Postcards from Lowell. And I start off with a with a little
More the
story.
problem, is it?
A
That was
true
PT,
story about when I was a
Losing
infant.
his stuff.
And then we just, then we have Chad on, and there were times that people would call in to try to date Chad. So I mean, that what an effort.
From
that must have been.
the lady phone.
Well, the other,
The lady
a lady
phone.
phone.
Oh.
I always call it the lady phone.
Yeah.
I found this really fancy. It was a push
French
button.
provincial phone.
Well, it's a push button old rotary dial phone, but it was a push button one. And it's got the little receiver, and it's fancy
It's
or
very
whatever.
lady.
They're like, oh, this is so and so calling for Chadwick. Is Chad there? I've been trying to reach you through the singles hotline.
It's all
And,
gone
you're-
so
and,
very
and all the
well.
women sounded just like that.
Yeah.
Was it really you, Adam, on the other side, on the other phone line?
I cannot tell a lie. I have never called Chad
No.
anytime.
I did one time.
Yeah.
No, I just think it's funny because I
This
think,
is Wonderful.
hello, I'm a pain in the neck. Like, you want to go out, Chad? So you're gonna be doing the postcards from Lowell.
Yeah, we do that, and
Yeah.
then I've been dabbling in writing and painting, and the painting is the one that's really totally surprised me. I did it when I couldn't walk. I had an operation. I was tied up for a matter of months, and rather than drive poor Mary Ann any crazier than I do normally,
Right.
I says I got to do something. I used to do a little sketching, but nothing, just to dabble. So I got some watercolors, and I sat there, and it kept me occupied. So I had them hanging in the house, and our good buddy Lewis, the Colonel, comes over one night. He sees that. He says, I know a girl that would love that. Can I buy it from you? I never hung it up to sell. I just hung it up because, it was getting in the way. And I says, you're kidding me. Huh? And he says, how much do you want? And I told him, and he gave me 50% more. He says, you're not asking enough. Then another friend I hadn't seen in years, a photographer, makes his money on photography, does real good. He comes over. He says, oh, my God, you're going to be kidding me. I'll buy that. I'll give you $300. I said, you're kidding me. I said, it's just some trees. Yeah. He says, Bill, I love it. I'll give you. I said, you know what? I'll give you the friend discount. So I charged him less than that.
You wanted 300, I want 350.
Yeah.
$299.50. No, I did, and that started, and I've sold about 8 of them. People just either coming over and seeing them or seeing them when I put them on Facebook, and it's stunning. So I want to try to get into that. And what the heck? You might as well make a buck if you're having fun.
And
Yeah.
you're also appearing with Savannah Underground.
That's
And
correct.
Yeah.
Well, yes.
Savannah Underground is a play that's going on in the city, and it's for people that love history. It's three events that happened in Savannah, true events, and I'm in one of them. And they have, and then after
Can you say what character it is? Because when I talked
play,
to you originally, you wouldn't tell me.
William Wise,
Okay, William Wise. All
right? Anyway, so again, a historic. That was in 1734 that the event happened to me. I don't want to give away too much of it, obviously, but anyway, all 3 stories, and they're about 15 minutes each, were true. But then they bring in the ghost aspect, how it became, this is Savannah, so it became a ghost story. And they bring that aspect in, too. The people that love, tourists come to Savannah just to see the ghost stories and that.
Oh, yeah.
This has really taken off. It's outstanding, and it's just a ball doing.
We
And
got to
I-
do the station ID,
Thank you.
everybody. And Sebastian, would you mind playing a lick for us? Yes.
Ooh, Sebastian.
Yes. There we go.
We're in Spain.
Woo.
Woo.
Thank you.
Oh, that was awesome, Bass. Thank you.
I'm gonna have to take my hair out of my ponytail and
Well, you won't have to worry about it. You just melted your face off.
yeah.
If you had the electric one, it'd be like. Everybody, you're tuning in
Yeah.
today. This is the Bill Cooper extension of the Adam Messer Show. we're here in the studio violating every rule that we have today.
Yeah, you have to.
But we're social distancing. I'm like at
Yeah.
least 6 feet away from Julia right
Totally.
now.
We're all 6 feet
Yeah, we're
apart.
6
This is
feet
a
away, that's
huge
right.
station.
That's right.
Huge.
But we're here on WRUU LP Savannah, Georgia, 107.5 FM. I don't know why I'm talking like this right this second, but I'm like trying to spit it out. 107.5 FM, WRUU.org. We are Savannah's Soundings.
Are we?
Community radio. I know, right? Like community radio with global. And we actually we have about we have about another 10 minutes before we have to wrap it up because they have to get ready for their show.
So much preparation goes into our show.
I really enjoy having met you and becoming friends with you and Marianne and then Julia and Chad. Chad acts like I can't stand the sight of him, but I mean I really do.
Well, you
I
portray
think that's
that.
his
I love you
shtick.
too, Adam.
You know?
You portray that to him. You
I thought
scare
that was
him.
our-
You intimidate him.
I thought that was our shtick. Like he acts like he's aggravating me. I act like he's an aggravator. So
I feel like it may be like a Tom and Jerry, but
Like,
at the
yeah.
end, like I don't
Like-
think Tom wants to eat Jerry.
Do you know underneath this I have a referee shirt in case it comes to that?
it's so crazy. I'm like, what are you talking? And then we got PT in the house. We got Marianne. Yes.
Yes.
You say it?
Who is that?
Oh, I'm sorry. That's Mac.
Oh, he
What do you think? I was
denied.
going to say Mary Ann. You tricked me
Oh,
again.
got it.
Drink, everyone.
But I think that's cool. 4 years, 3 months of the Savannah at Night show. What was like the craziest moment you had on the show that you were like, oh my gosh?
There were so many. If you know me, and anyone listening knows, I can't go 3 minutes without laughing about something.
Right,
That's just my
right.
personality. So I always try to keep it light, no matter what it was. And if someone took themselves too seriously, I could just pull the rug out and without hurting their feelings or anything, and they'd laugh about it. So I just enjoy doing it. This is, again, I can't do a straight show. I could never
Yeah.
report on a funeral.
Right.
Just
Seriously.
fire me.
I
I
mean,
just couldn't do
your
it.
jokes at all
But
fall
I've
dead.
enjoyed, honest to God, I've enjoyed every guest. And I was just astounded by the amount of talent in this city. So I just don't want to name one time or anything. Just I'm astounded, and I knew because I had worked with a lot of these people, acting or comedy. Yet I was astounded how deep it was and how involved and how seriously they took it.
And Adam, I'll just add, as a listener, there were some, for me, just some, the comedians are all terrific, but they're funny anyway. So
Yeah.
you expect that to happen. And artists are artists, and musicians are musicians. But some of them that for me that stood out, he had several people on who were professors at SCAD
Yeah.
in the art and film and industry, and they were so knowledgeable and how they taught their class and how they prepared themselves and what they expected from their students, and these are people with longevity there, and that to me, and one of my favorite all-time guests, sorry PT, was Jeremiah
Kaiser.
Kaiser.
Jeremiah Kaiser.
Yeah.
He's a SCAD grad.
Yes.
And he is flamboyant,
Oh,
flashy, you name it.
So funny.
Yeah.
So
He's as
funny.
skinny as a pencil.
Yeah.
But whatever he comes in here, he had a big boa feather in his hat. He's just, and I'm glad I had the camera and I do the show on Facebook too, because that was half the show, just seeing his outfit.
How about you, Chad? What was your most memorable moment the last 2 years?
I think that's tough. But my most memorable moments are with Bill when we don't have guests. It's when the two of us have a sort of symbiosis.
Oh, hot dogging.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love
That
it.
What?
sounds weird.
Oh,
Adam.
is it?
Thank you.
Just got a hot dog in the show.
He and I off the air have good conversations.
Yeah.
And on the air, I didn't expect, even when I started, running the board and stuff, that we would have a camaraderie and a
Connection.
That
a
synergy.
connection.
Yeah, that synergy.
And so
yeah.
my favorite moments about Savannah Night has been just Bill and I having conversations with each other, genuine conversations that we would have off the air, on the air.
Awesome.
So
Julia,
that's my favorite part.
how about you? You've been on there like 4 or 5 times, right?
Yeah. Probably my first time because I'm very
She
outgoing
was so nervous
and I
the
was
first time.
so nervous, and I told like everyone I'm gonna be on the radio with my friend Bill Cooper and Chad, and like I told everyone like relatives I don't ever talk to, like
That was one of our highest rated shows, by the way.
Well, that was a lot of fun. I was so nervous, but you guys definitely. And outside of this station, I'm friends with all of you guys.
Right.
Yeah.
But there is something kind of like
When you're on air, it's a little.
when you're on air,
a little more magic.
Yeah, but
because you never know what you're gonna get into.
Right, you want it.
You
to,
never know what you're gonna walk into either.
Right. So you want it to flow, and I agree with you, Chad. The conversation, Bill, you make talking to you, speaking to you, very easy.
Yes.
So it is whatever nervousness you have. It's very easy
guess.
to
Welcome.
be funny or to continue the
Relax
conversation,
and-
relax. Yeah. But so being on multiple times, my first time I think was, because I was so nervous, like my palms were sweating.
Yeah.
I've met through Bill. I've met all these amazing people. I've met you, Adam. I've now met your son.
The only thing I'll
I've
say
met
about
tons of
that,
people.
you have it in you. I mean, you have
Yeah,
the ability to
natural act,
entertain
yeah.
people. Stand up there. Open mic is one of the hardest acting there is. And you're acting. And you're
Right.
standing up there instantly. You knew if you nailed it or if you didn't.
Mm-hmm.
And the hardest thing was, and I remember telling you and a lot of new people, even if you have a bad joke, don't let it throw you. Come back out next week, keep working on it. And you had some good stuff. You really
Yeah.
did. I liked the first time I saw you. And I told you that afterwards. But, you were rough. You just started.
Yeah.
But I saw potential in you, and I just wanted to encourage you to keep doing it.
Yeah.
I thought your mom, the mom shtick was really funny. And then your catchphrase really got me. You're like, when you're like, I do my business in your mouth. I was like, what? She's a
Just to
dental.
clarify, I work for a dentist.
Right. I'm like,
But
you
I
never
did
told
my
us that
business.
part.
you know,
right.
I'm thinking like you're a comedian, and you're like, yeah, I do my business in your mouth. I was like, what?
Yeah.
PT, how about you? You got a good short. We got a few minutes, so you got a short Cooper
Okay,
story?
not really. Same as what was said before. I had seen the show a couple of times, listened to it, and then Bill asked me to be a guest, and I came in to the studio early. Bill was here, Chad was not.
I'm usually like on time or late.
Or
He's got it in the
They're
contract
about-
that he gets more money for not being there.
I too am always on time or late.
Actually, I remember one show I was waiting for you to get here. It was like
about,
5:20. I was like, I gotta get.
It took me about 30 seconds to realize that what these guys were doing on the air was who they actually were.
Not a put
And,
on.
and
Yeah.
that was kind of a revelation to me.
Well, I just want to wrap the show up with this, Bill. You've always been an awesome encourager and a wonderful, gracious host. Really funny guy. I love talking with you. I've been on your show several times. You did the movie stuff with us. You know, we got that
We could do
Right.
more of that
Julia too. We
Yeah.
got Chad and we got Marianne gonna be doing it too. But yeah, you've always been a lot of fun, Bill, to talk with, and you always have one thing I can say about you, Bill, is that I have never heard you speak a bad word about anybody.
You know why? And this is my policy. If I say something bad about someone, you're wondering, well, I haven't heard their side of it. I might be the one at fault and just painting someone bad, so I avoid that. It's like if someone shows me a coin, I've never seen the other side. That's not what the coin looks like. I want to know both sides.
Yeah, exactly.
So rather than put someone down, all I say is they say, hey, I hear you're not getting along with someone, so I'll say, look, I'm not going to have anything to say about it.
Yeah.
But she said or he said. I said, well, then that's all you have to go by.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, ask them because they said it.
I do feel like you'll just tell the person.
Oh, if I have
there
to.
isn't
if
a
someone-
story. There
I
isn't
get
ever.
it, If someone
not
really
that happens.
treats me
but I
bad
feel
and I don't deserve it, they'll know.
The reason why I say
don't
that is
hold
because
back.
it is a very
But I don't
rare
tell other
quality.
people about it. It's no one else's business.
Yeah.
It's me and you. And honestly,
Right.
I had. I've had problems with people, and nobody got this all without having it. But
Yeah.
I never took it to their friends or their family. They never even knew that I was having problems with it. I wouldn't say a word.
I think it's awesome because it is a really rare quality, and
Thank you.
I think it's one of the things that makes you a wonderful guy and a swell, keen player.
Yeah.
Just love it. I just love it.
I
We love you, Bill.
appreciate
Thank you
this.
so
This
much,
is unexpected.
man.
I totally
Yeah.
appreciate it, and I
Incredible.
thank you so much. I thank you all for coming and
Thank you, Adam.
bringing cakes and that. Jeez, but no, wow.
So,
it should,
all right.
It should be noted that all that is staying outside the studio.
Yeah, it is.
Right.
It is in the sanctioned hallway.
No, I don't have to worry about it.
But we have to crab up with
The hookers
like
are also
sardines.
outside.
Gonna do,
too.
take you off the air.
Yeah. They're going to cut my pay in half.
But,
Right,
it's,
right.
but it's outside the studio anyway.
Oh, yeah, of course.
It's
Yeah,
chocolate. You
yeah.
can't go wrong with chocolate, right? Actually, it's so funny. I'll tell this and then I'm gonna wrap it up. I called Marianne. I was like, I don't know if Bill likes sweets or if he doesn't like sweets or whatever. And Marianne goes, "Oh, does he?" I said, "What does he like?" She's like, "Well, he's okay with chocolate cake." And I was like, "Okay, chocolate cake." And then she's like, talking about chocolate on chocolate or whatever, and like red velvet cake. And I was like, "Oh man, this would be easy peasy. Chocolate on chocolate." You would think that's the easiest of the easy.
Yep.
Well, you see, the chocolate cake that I got was a bundt cake because they didn't have the chocolate on chocolate, which would be big enough for everybody. And I love it that you actually got the other cake that I was looking at.
Chocolate on chocolate.
You got the chocolate on
Fudge.
chocolate.
Anything
Yeah.
in the
Death by
sugar group.
chocolate.
It's
Yeah.
not. It's grocery store. It's
And-
not
and-
made with the
and-
love that yours was.
Oh well, mine was not made by hand either. Not by these hands.
Someone's hands,
Right,
I'm
right.
assuming.
So
Anyway,
thanks y'all.
the thought is fabulous.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
again, I'm just overwhelmed. This is very
Oh well,
nice.
you deserve it,
Thank
Bill.
you.
Everybody, woo! Round of applause for Bill Cooper. We love you, man. Thank you
Yeah.
for 4 awesome years plus. And then, everybody go check out Bill Cooper's Facebook page. Go check out his acting, all this other stuff that he does. He is like definitely a player here in Savannah. So, and the comedy show is. I'm going to throw this out there one more time because I'm not going to get on stage, Bill. I'm not ready, but I will be getting up there. Maybe one day. I don't know. But the
You got a set
VFW,
you
it's
can do?
October the 14th, which I honestly picked that out of my brain. But
Yeah.
it's a Thursday, and it's right there on 17. So,
Second
Yeah.
You know who you should have on?
Please.
Marianne.
that's
On
right.
the stand-up, we've done it. We've
Yeah.
actually done it.
Yeah, no, get together. You can say something, and she can tell you.
And straight